Hello everyone, it's Shane Kanto, your Wasteland reviewer, and I'm here to review Marjorie Prime. And this is about in the future. It's based off of a play where dead loved ones are brought back as holograms to keep in touch with their families, and they have to teach them their own lives and keeping them around to appease the grieving process for their dead and for their surviving loved ones. And it deals with a lot of interesting things. And this is directed by Michael Almereyda. It's a bit muddled with how the story's put together and it gets confusing at parts, but overall it's a very engaging, interesting story and interesting high concept. It's a bit slow, it does drag at moments. It's a very talky film and it is based off of a play and it's a lot of sitting around and just talking and it does drag at parts. But it's consistent and eerie and in terms of tone, and it's like you're trying to figure out how you should feel about what's going on with these people and everything. And it is interesting to keep going along, and you're engaged because you want to figure out what's the point, and is this the right thing to do, or what's going to come out of this situation. And it does hit emotionally. There are some moments where it's like dealing with loss and sorrow, and there's some moments that really hit impactfully, and realizations that it's like, wow, that really does hit home in terms of dealing with dead loved ones and trying to get past that grieving process. Sean Price Williams' cinematography is very generic and sheeny and really just point and shoot, so that kind of took me out of the movie. As somebody that really appreciates camera work and cinematography, it's very blah. The writer is Michael Almereyda as well. It's a very intriguing and engrossing story about these family members slowly dealing with the deaths of their family members and how they interact with these new holograms and teaching them. What do you teach them? Do you teach them all the good things? Do you let them know their whole stories so that you could see them struggle with their emotions about certain things in their life? And that's really interesting. There are some deep characters that get a lot of development in this film that are really interesting to watch. And it does have deep and thought-provoking dialogue, and these conversations go to places that it's really engaging and interesting, and you want to figure out how this all fits together and how these characters are really dealing with everything. And dealing with grief and connections with family, these themes are really, really at the core of this film and are really fleshed out within dialogue and how they interact with each other. The music by Micah Levy is very eerie and powerful, and there's some moments in this film that are striking because how, boom, this music comes in and really elevates scenes and makes you really feel how impactful they can be. The acting, so we have Les Smith, John Hamm, and Gina Davis all do a very good job in this film in their roles, but Tim Robbins, I think, is the one that really sticks out and has some very powerful moments. I'm not the hugest fan of Tim Robbins, but there are films that I see him in, and he has some amazing performances, like Shawshank Redemption. Really enjoyed him in this film. I'm a huge fan of John Hamm, and I enjoyed him in this film. It was nice seeing Gina Davis in a film. Now, my it factor. This is a really impactful, thoughtful sci-fi film. It's not for everyone. It's a bit slow and a bit convoluted, but if you're into that that heady kind of science fiction, I think this is really worth it for you. And I'm going to give Marjorie Prime a B-.